and shows that his humanity. And Common and John Legend stepping up to the thank you cam live. You can see the high fives backstage right now. I love this.
It's tough to believe that it took this long to make a move for someone to make a movie about Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm. You see that sigh of relief from John Legend. I think he just went, woo. Amazing. We're expecting them to step to the thank you cam any moment now. They can elaborate and go on as long as they want.
Yes.
Selma also up for Best Picture. Best Picture will be the last award of the night. I believe right now we're going to go back to the thank you cam in just a moment. I think John Legend and Common enjoying their moment. They'll be stepping up to the mic in a moment, but I think now it's time to go to Sarah Haynes, who's in the press conference room with the creators of Big Hero 6. Sarah?
I want to thank Ava DuVernay, Oprah Winfrey. I want to thank Plan B, Paramount. I want to thank everybody who was a part of this. This is a gift. I want to thank Cameron Mitchell and CAA and my team, my entire team. This is, oh man, I'm just grateful. Thank you. Okay, let me say this. Okay, I want to thank Ava DuVernay. I want to thank Oprah Winfrey. I want to thank Plan B. I want to thank Paramount. I want to thank my entire team, CAA, Cameron Mitchell, and everybody that supported Selma. Thank you for the cast and crew. I love y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you to the Academy. Thank you.
Okay. You want us to tee it?
And right behind us, you can see Jennifer Aniston and Laura Poitras, who won as for Best Documentary for Citizen 4. She did that film with Glenn Greenwald, who broke the story of Edward Snowden on The Guardian.
But we want to listen to that acceptance speech from Common and John Legend that brought so many in the audience to tears. Take a listen.
First, I would like to thank God that lives in us all. Recently, John and I got to go to Selma and perform Glory on the same bridge that Dr. King and the people of the Civil Rights Movement marched on 50 years ago. This bridge was once a landmark of a divided nation, but now is a symbol for change. The spirit of this bridge transcends race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, and social status. The spirit of this bridge connects the kid from the south side of Chicago, dreaming of a better life, to those in France standing up for their freedom of expression, to the people in Hong Kong protesting for democracy. This bridge was built on hope, welded with compassion, and elevated by love for all human beings. Thank you.
And just heard that wonderful acceptance speech that we're going to be talking a lot about. That's one that stands out so far this evening, along with Patricia Arquette. And we have a performance by Lady Gaga coming up next, her Sound of Music tribute. It's been 50 years since the making of one of my favorite movies.
Never a dull moment with Lady Gaga either, so that's an interesting homage. You know.
The hills are alive.
Sing it, Paula.
Nope, not happening. Only to my children at night and in the shower.
And Scarlett Johansson is entering Lady Gaga, who's going to be singing.
She didn't win. She lost to Julie Christie. It was also nominated for art direction, cinematography, costume design. Interesting, though. From 1939 to 1967, there were separate cinematography and costume design categories for color and for black and white.
I remember the first time I watched this film back in Brazil. It really is one of the most iconic films ever made.
Ever.
Such an inspiration to so many people.
Ever made. So Lady Gaga just wrapping up her Sound of Music tribute, and Julie Andrews is on the stage with her. What a touching moment. What a touching moment. You can see the audience standing ovation. John Stamos there. Just
Julie Andrews, super emotional.
Super emotional right now. And she's handing over the mic to Julie Andrews. Original scores coming up, original screenplay, adapted screenplay, directing, and then again, some of the bigger categories that
we've all been waiting for. And Chrissy Teigen, we mentioned that she was probably tweeting or Instagramming, and didn't take long for her to post this on Instagram. Chrissy Teigen, of course, her husband is John Legend, who just won an Oscar for Glory, and here is Look at that
photo
smile
on Instagram. There's no denying that smile. That is an ear-to-ear smile. Definitely holding that up.
Genuine.
John Legend just winning alongside Common for Glory, that original song from the movie Selma. Congratulations to him. Congrats. So, coming up, we said we have original score. And some of the nominees for original score, Grand Budapest Hotel,
The Imitation Game, Interstellar, Mr. Turner, and The Theory of Everything. Now, one thing that's really interesting about this category, the Grand Budapest Hotel, the person that composed the original score for Grand Budapest Hotel is competing against himself on The Imitation Game. Talk about being a pro.
Talk about either not a conflict of internal interest or just a busy year.
Yes.
Very, very busy year.
To say the least.
The score can make or break a movie. People don't realize. I mean, have you ever tried to watch a movie with the volume turned down?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's funny you say that, because I always say that the Grand Budapest Hotel, I think it was so well executed. I think it was so meticulously produced that I
surround themselves with people that they trust and people that they feel familiar with. You try to surround yourself with the same cast and crew. All right, coming up, the 87th Academy Awards, we have original screenplay, we have adapted screenplay, and directing, three pretty big categories. But we're going to take a very quick break here on the Oscars Backstage, presented by Samsung Galaxy. We'll see you in 30 seconds, everyone.
Welcome back to Oscar Backstage, presented by Samsung Galaxy.
Taking a look at Oscar.
Yes. Hey, Oscar, how are you doing?
That's not the statue that actually, that's not the award that gets handed out. That's a large replica of Sir Oscar.
Yeah. I love all the stories. I mean, till this day, no one can pinpoint exactly why the Oscars are called Oscars. There are a few different versions. And
I believe there's only one Oscar that has actually won an Oscar.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
You know who that is?
Good question.
Rodgers and Hammer's.
Nice.
There you go.
It's an endless source of information right here.
Someone told me that, so don't give me too much credit. That was one of those little factoids. We were talking about the actual Oscar, and each one of them is made out of pewter and polished and buffed. Takes 20 hours of labor. If there's any sort of blemish, they get rid of it. And an unusual and peculiar fact from this guy, if a child is to win an Oscar, it's of smaller dimensions.
No,
correct?
They used to be.
They used to be.
Like 2 decades ago, up in like Shirley Temple when she got her Oscar, you know, it was this big. It was a
instead
tiny
of 8.5 pounds and 13.5 inches.
But now it doesn't make any difference. Like last year, if Quvenzhané Wallis had won, you know, she would have gotten the same. She competes for the same statue.
Interesting.
So, yes.
Always a little bit of a nugget from you.
I don't know about that.
Always a bit of a nugget. And we want you to continue to tweet your questions to Oscars Backstage if you have any questions for any of the winners. Of course, coming up, we have how many categories we have left? 6 categories. Wow. We have original screenplay, adapted screenplay, directing, actor in a lead role, actress, and then the big finale, Best Picture. Wow. And so we have quite a few categories left to go. If you have any questions questions that you want to ask Sarah Haynes is just over there in the press conference room. So tweet that question to Oscars Backstage.
With the hashtag Oscars Backstage, exactly.
And speaking of Sarah Haynes, she's there right now, ready to ask a question. Let's send it over to her.
Hi, congratulations, first of all. We have a Facebook fan question for you from Evelyn Lopez. What will you be working on next?
Well, I mean, I don't talk about works in progress ever, so I can't answer that one. But I'm going to do something for the Whitney Museum. Is the next thing I know I'm doing.
We'll go to 186 and then 211.
Hi, David Cohen from Variety. Laura, I think I saw you on the carpet, and you looked like you were having the best time of maybe anybody I saw out there. Can you tell us about what it means to you to be here and get this recognition and just be in this room with these people?
I mean, honestly, I'm here. I was on the red carpet with Glenn Greenwald and Dave Miranda and Dirk and Mathilde. And, you know, no matter what happened today, we've all felt that this has been just an experience of a lifetime. So, you know, we're here to celebrate and just incredible collaboration. And then to have the work recognized by the Academy is sort of a dream come true.
We're going back to 211. I'll come down here.
Hi, congratulations. Dirk, this question is for you. I'm over here.
Where?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Can you tell us about how you feel tonight? Where you're going to put the Oscar and also who you're going to call first, please?
I feel proud because what we have done is meaningful and important, and I think it's wonderful that this has been awarded with an Oscar, and it means a lot to the film and to what we stand for. And I don't need to call anybody because Mathilde is right here, and that's exactly where these two Oscars land at home. So.
We're going to 157, then I'll come down to 214.
Laura, congratulations on an extraordinary film. It's rare that you see one where the things are actually happening instead of people talking about what happened. The Academy Award is like the ultimate establishment recognition. You don't do establishment topics. Does this change you in any way, or you think change the way you get viewed in any way?
No, I mean, actually, it doesn't really change me. I mean, we made a film and we didn't make any compromises, but, you know, I think actually the Academy is full of artists and filmmakers, and I think that that's what it's being recognized for as a film. So I actually feel a lot of, you know, kindred spirit with a lot of the other films that are nominated, Boyhood, Grand Budapest Hotel, Birdman. Those are really artist-driven films, so I think it fits right in with those.
And Birdman just winning for original screenplay, and the cast actually.
They're cheering with their Oscars.
Yes.
Alejandro González Iñárritu taking the mic.
Say that again, please.
Alejandro González
Iñárritu.
Well done.
Thank you. I'm learning slowly. I am learning slowly but surely.
I have a feeling this won't be the last
and Birdman
statue they're going to take home.
It has the most performer nominees. I believe they were up for 9 nominations in different categories. Lead actor Michael Keaton, of course, that's the third to last category of the evening. Supporting actor Edward Norton. J.K. Simmons already won that, and supporting actress Emma Stone was nominated, and Patricia Arquette won that category as well. Emma Stone, by the way, didn't win, but she was this year's youngest nominee at 26 years old.
And you know what she was doing when Boyhood started being filmed like 12, 13 years ago? She was still in
12,
school.
14?
Yeah, she was still in school, and 2 years later she went to study acting in Los Angeles.
Right.
So she was a child, but much accomplished, if you ask me.
Just some interesting trivia about the Academy Awards. Since 1929, no Best Director nominee, and they were hearing Alejandro, who was also nominated for directing Birdman. He's speaking right now. No Best Director nominee has won for a movie that wasn't also nominated for Best Picture. So rarely you can't have one without the other.
And no two supporting actresses the same actress has been nominated 2 years in a row. And you know what's really interesting as well? Everyone that wins a statue, that wins an Oscar today, gets it engraved here at the Dolby Theater with their names.
Yeah, during the Governor's Ball.
Yeah.
Which made us quite hungry.
Yeah.
So we heard from Common just a little bit ago, who won for that original song, Glory from Selma. He stepped up to thank you, Cam, and now it was John Legend's turn.
Hey, we'll do it together. I did that. Oh, you did this already? I want to thank Ava DuVernay, who directed this beautiful film, Selma, and invited us to be part of it. I want to thank my beautiful wife for always supporting me, my whole family for raising me right and being there to support me for everything, my management, my team, everybody that tours with me and plays with me, and I'm just so happy to be here today. And thank you to the Academy. We love you, appreciate you. Thank you.
I think they're also winning the award for best social media.
Yeah.
We have a photo, a great photo of Common and John Legend backstage. This is the moment after they won. A little blurry, you can see, because it's in action shot.
You can tell how happy everyone is for them. You know.
Everyone's so happy for them. And on stage right now, Oprah is on stage. She is getting ready to, she's reading the nominees for adapted screenplay, including American Sniper, The Imitation Game, Inherent Vice, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. So
that's a tough call. That's a tough one to guess.
What's your guess?
I'm gonna say American Sniper.
I'll go with Theory of Everything.
Okay.
I'll bet you a sandwich because I'm starving right now.
I'll bet you a sandwich and a drink afterward.
Okay.
Fair
I think
enough.
I'm going to pass out afterwards. I could go for a nice sandwich right now. But yes, Oprah Winfrey.
Watch Whiplash
getting
wins.
ready.
Then who's going to eat the sandwich?
The Imitation
Game. I guess we'll stay hungry.
Both wrong. Hey, can somebody make me a sandwich, right? Can we still eat, please?
Well,
congratulations
I'm
to The
happy
Imitation
they're
Game.
taking this home, though, because The Imitation Game is such a great film.
It's such a great film, and it's a true story, a story that we didn't hear about till a while ago, because this was a covert and clandestine operation by the British to really cover. They didn't want to reveal too much, so almost all of everything regarding this particular operation was destroyed, all of the evidence. So they really had to kind of piecemeal a lot of the facts and put the story together about Alan Turing's life, but just a genius, a mathematician who saved millions and millions of lives.
And this is an important film. I mean, you mentioned Alan Turing, you know, who actually ended up committing suicide for being gay. And now, the same way Selma is a really important civil rights film, this movie also has a really important message.
It's a really, really important message, because back then in Britain, Alan Turing was a homosexual, and he was gay, and it was illegal.
Exactly.
And he was forced to take hormone therapy, so there definitely is a message about equal rights. And
the Queen of England actually honored him posthumously.
Yes, yes, she did. The winners for original score, Grand Budapest Hotel, stepping up to the thank you cam.
Thanks to the Academy. I forgot to thank the Academy. My God. And to the people of France, and to the people of Greece. Thank you.
Wow. Standing ovation.
Yep. So far, a very big night for Grand Budapest Hotel. They've taken 4 Oscars.
Julianne Moore.
3 Oscars.
Grand Budapest Hotel, I think it was 4 Oscars.
4 Oscars for Grand Budapest Hotel, 2 Oscars for Birdman, and then 3 for, I believe, Whiplash.
Yes. So far, Whiplash is taking home more statues than Birdman. I don't know how much longer this will last, but
Grand Budapest Hotel and Birdman had the most nominations, I believe, at 9 going into the night. Correct me if I'm wrong?
Great night for all of them, though.
Really great night. Great night. So the next category is going to be directing, an exciting category there.
And we know you've been waiting for the following categories: actor and actress in a leading role.
Yes. Stepping up to the thank you cam, original screenplay, Birdman.
Thank you, Cam. Oh my God, the list is infinitive. Guys, thank you, Cam. Now is the time.
Thank you, Cam.
Okay,
Thank you, Cam.
My mom.
Chris McCartan.
You?
Everybody. Nobody else? Andrea, my sister Andrea.
Emiliano Zapata.
Mariano Masi, Pierre Chakra.
Oberon Theater Ensemble.
Pato Ezequiel, Pelayo Gutierrez.
Ernesto Bolio.
My Aunt Marjorie Ballantyne.
Thich Nhat Hanh.
Manu Ginobili. Caro,
nice.
Caroline and Jennifer.
Tess Gallagher.
Oh my God, you guys are so good.
Raymond Carver.
Raymond Carver.
Of course.
That'll do it.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
That was.
And there's John Legend and Common at the portrait cam. There are about 5,000 1,000 places for them to take photos. Can you imagine at the end of the night they're going to be like, just, can I please enjoy this and take a moment? We're celebrating.
They deserve it. It's once in a lifetime chance.
Now, Ben Affleck, I believe two-time Oscar winner. Ben Affleck will be announcing the nominees for Best Director, and they are Birdman, Boyhood, Foxcatcher, Grand Budapest Hotel, and Imitation Game. Who's your pick?
I am going to go with, I think Alejandro Iñárritu is gonna win again.
Should we bet another sandwich?
Let's keep betting.
I'm gonna go with Richard Linklater for Boyhood.
Actually, can I change it?
You can't change it. No, you cannot change it.
That was my bet all the time.
You cannot. Sorry.
Up until now, that was my bet, but okay, fair enough.
Yes, I don't want a turkey sandwich. I want salami. So just FYI. But that's going to be the next category, and it really. A lot of the movies that have been nominated tonight are based on real stories, and they do make some of the best pictures. There are 4 this evening that were nominated that are based on real events and real people. Yeah. American Sniper, of course, which is the story of U.S. Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, the most lethal sniper in U.S. history. There's The Imitation Game, which just won for adapted screenplay. Yes. The story of a British computer scientist, mathematician, and cryptanalyst. He wasn't just a mathematician; he was a cryptanalyst.
I love that.
Alan
Selma,
Turing.
The story of Martin Luther King Jr. and the 1965 civil rights voting march. Isn't it Selma? Could forget that in Alabama. And The Theory of Everything, the story of Jane and Stephen Hawking. Yes.
Which was an interesting movie to write and direct, because Jane and Stephen Hawking are still alive, and a lot of times you're creating these movies you know, when the antagonists have passed away posthumously.
And Eddie Redmayne said that that was one of the biggest challenges, to actually, you know, win Stephen over and to get his blessing.
Took 8 years.
Yes.
Took a very long time. I believe we have adapted screenplay who just won for Imitation Game. I believe they're stepping up to the thank you cam.
Congratulations. Or no, let's just do it now. You know what? We're here. Okay. So I just look at that and say thank you.
You forgot to thank, or you want to...
There are the entire rest of the cast who I did not have time to mention on the Imitation Game. Alan Leach, I'm thinking of you, Matthew Beard, Matthew Good, Rory Kinnear, Mark Strong, Alex Lothar. You guys are so wonderful. I want to thank the Plaid Shadow. You know exactly who you are, and you know why I'm thanking you. Many of you are in my house drunk right now. You can open, the expensive stuff is in the pantry by the fridge. Go to the top shelf. You know, drink whatever's there. Enjoy it. Thank you all so much.
Dude, that was adorable.
Love those candid moments, right?
Absolutely spontaneous.
Exactly.
We're going to go for a really quick break, but we'll be back right after this. Stick around. Big moment right now. Best directing award for Best Director. Here we go.
Wait. Oh! You were right. I owe you a sandwich.
I'll share my sandwich, Paula.
I'm sorry that we have just reduced that moment to a sandwich, but congratulations to Alejandro.
Alejandro González Iñárritu.
Yes, and I love that moment right there, hugging Richard Linklater, the director for Boyhood. But people told him he was crazy for trying to direct a movie that gave you the impression that it was shot in one take. But he said, oh well.
He believed in his idea, and can we stop for a moment and talk about Mexican directors? Oh, so
okay. Let's take a moment, come back out on camera, and we want to show you who's behind us. Common and John Legend have come into the room.
And the photographers love them. They're having such a good time. Look at that.
Clutching Sir Oscar.
Yeah.
It looks weightless. That's a pretty nice suit. I like the suit jacket by Common. It looks kind of like suede. They're both looking dapper.
These two can pull off anything.
Yes, they can. They're definitely playing to the cameras right now. And immediately after this, they'll make their way to the press conference room, and that's where Sarah Haynes will be asking them a question.
And back to my point, like, if you think about it, Mexican directors, before, you know, last year was Cuarón with Gravity, and then it was Del Toro with Pan's Labyrinth, and now we have Iñárritu with Birdman.
I'm so excited. We have Best Actor in a Leading Role next. We have Best Actress in a Leading Role. We have Best Picture. We have The Magic Reveal. Best Actor in a Leading Role is such an intriguing and fascinating category because of the nominees, none of them have won an Oscar.
Wow.
Bradley Cooper, this is his third nomination. Michael Keaton hasn't won.
I'm going to bet on Eddie Redmayne.
Yep.
But a lot of people say that exactly because Bradley Cooper has been here the past 2 years consecutively, that's a really small team. Very few actors have been nominated 3 years in a row, and Bradley Cooper is one of them. And now with this film that's such a box office hit, he does have chance.
They're saying this is one of the toughest categories because Chris Connolly, we were talking to him earlier, and he said if Eddie Redmayne doesn't win, it is a huge upset. It's almost a given. Most people feel that it was such a resounding performance in the physical transformation of Eddie in this part of Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
It was just an amazing performance. I was in tears. Like I said, I cried for 3 movies: Boyhood, Theory of Everything, and Still Alice. Apparently, I'm a softie.
Still Alice. I mean, Julianne Moore's performance in this film is unbelievable,
and this
unforgettable.
is her 5th nomination. If we were to tell you that Julianne Moore has never won an Oscar,
it's true.
It is true.
I think that's another of the many reasons why people know or believe that she's going to win today.
Yeah, I think it's almost a given.
There's Naomi Watts.
Yep, Naomi Watts was nominated for supporting actress. Or actually,
Birdman.
no, she wasn't.
No, she should have been.
She should have been.
Wasn't.
That's what I meant. She should have been. Emma Stone.
Absolutely.
Who was the youngest nominee this year, just 26 years old.
And now we're gearing up for Best Actor and Best Actress, and the moment we've all been waiting for, Best Pictures. And I wonder if Neil Patrick Harris' predictions were right.
We're going to find out because he's going to reveal the contents.
Yes.
So Benedict Cumberbatch, who am I missing? Steve Carell. We have
Eddie Redmayne.
And then
Michael
we have
Keaton.
and Bradley Cooper. So those are the 5 nominees. None of those guys have won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So whoever wins this is just going to be such a raw, authentic moment. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Exactly. Bradley Cooper, I mean, he really gained 40 pounds for this role. You know, had the blessing of Chris Kyle's family. You know, like even like Chris Kyle's widow gave him some items of clothing. Taya Kyle, so he could wear it on set. So, and even the father of Chris Kyle gave him their blessing.
And he trained with one of Chris Kyle's friends who was also a Navy SEAL. Like you said, gained 40 pounds of pure muscle, was eating every 55 minutes. So. And
is now a Broadway star. As we know, Broadway actors are the toughest working actors out there.
That's right.
He got amazing reviews from The Elephant Man. I watched the play and it was incredible. And yesterday was the last one.
Well, it was?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Yesterday was the finale.
Well, we're all on the edge of our seat waiting to hear the nominees and the winners of Best Actor in a Leading Role. We're going to turn it over to Sarah Haynes in the press conference room with Grand Budapest Hotel.
Facebook question, a fan question from Cheryl Jones. How would you describe the moment when you heard your name being read?
Intense, warm, relieved, happy. Should I go on?
No, those are all great words. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to go to 259 and then 172.
Hi, congratulations. The Grand Budapest Hotel doesn't take place in any specific country or time period. I was wondering how that informed your writing, and also will you be working on the next Roman Polanski movie?
Well, that was the idea, that Wes and I would try and create a sound that would belong to this fictional country, which was Zubrovka. As you know, you can also drink Zubrovka with moderation. The music that you can hear from Switzerland to Russia and to the Balkans is made of a great instrumentarium. The instruments, you can find them, are very various, and we try to kind of crystallize them into one sound. So that's what we try to do, to achieve. And yes, I will work again, I think, with Roman Polanski, who is one of the greatest directors of all times.
We're going to 172 and then 105.
Hi, Jonas from Norway. You were also nominated for Imitation Game. Which one are you the most pleased with personally?
It's a very good question. Is there another question, maybe? No, I mean, I love Morten's film. Was a wonder. As you know, I couldn't do this film because I was booked for another project, which was delayed, and then I could do Morten's film. And I was so inspired by Morten's film that it took me very little time to write the music, with a lot of excitement and joy. And Morten is a great artist and a very good musician himself. So working together was smooth, beautiful, and easy.
Maestro. 105.
Over here.
Hold on one second. Give me a second.
I'm sorry.
105, and then I have to end it, I'm sorry, with 152.
Thank you. Maestro, congratulations. I know you've worked with Wes Anderson before. Can you talk a little bit about the give and take between the two of you? How much does he approve? How much does he disapprove? And how much freedom do you really get?
Well, it's all him. Actually, he should have won this award. Well, you know, Wes, as any great director, is very detailed. He likes to be precise, obsessively, but like not different from Morten Tildum or Roman Polanski or Jacques Audiard. They are great directors, and so they are very demanding. And they want everything to fit perfectly in. The thing about Wes's movies is that, and his previous movies we've done together, Mr. Fox and Moonrise Kingdom, music is really interwoven very strongly to the editing, to the rhythm of the film. I guess that's the most important thing in our relationship. But also, when we sit together in my studio, very quickly we get excited about ideas, and I try to give a shape to that musically very quickly. And it's like arborescence, you know? You find an idea that brings another one, and we really work on the same level and very, very closely.
And welcome back, everyone. You just heard a loud applause from everyone here in the room because Eddie Redmayne just won for Best Actor for his performance in Theory of Everything. This is his first Oscar nomination, and what a performance, Sarah.
Well through, you know, he studied ALS for months and months and months, and then interviewed a lot of people, got dance lessons to have better control of his body. I mean, this is what you get when you invest as much time and dedication to a role.
And I think he's surprised. This was such a tough category. I think a lot of people assumed that he would win, but such a tough category. He's giving his acceptance speech right now, but the first thing he did, he held his Oscar up and just yelled, wow.
Yeah.
And he's so young. He's got a long career in front of him.
Yes,
absolutely.
He does. And I really love the chemistry between he and Felicity Jones as well. I know that they're longtime friends, but they haven't had a chance to collaborate and work together. And their chemistry was just so real and so organic. It was, and they pushed one another.
Well, apparently they used to go to auditions together and not get any of those roles. And to see both of them being nominated tonight is just, I'm sure there's a sweet taste for them.
A little bit. He owes a little bit of it to her just because of their ability to collaborate together and make one another better. And of course, she's up for lead actress, and that I believe is the next category. Only 2 more categories to go.
And you know, it's no joke. I mean, he just beat Michael Keaton.
I mean, and that is one of the, I think, very under-recognized man in the business.
I couldn't agree more.
He's 63 and hasn't won an Oscar. Isn't that incomprehensible?
When you say his name, you
it's
even
Batman,
like, that's
for God's sake.
I was thinking Mr. Mom, but okay.
Beetlejuice.
Oh gosh, you're gonna go there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's like a legend. I mean, this is such an on. And Bradley Cooper was. I mean,
his third nomination.
That category was one of the strongest.
I couldn't agree
more. I would
more.
say that it could have tilted anyway, and you would have known it was fine.
And you can see him right now posing backstage. And the next category, he just almost looks shell-shocked, but Matthew McConaughey and his beard are presenting the award for lead actress, Marion Cotillard. This would be her second Oscar. Felicity Jones, this would be her first. Julianne Moore and Still Alice, a lot of folks believe that this is going to be her night finally. Rosamund Pike for her crazy performance in Gone Girl, and Reese Witherspoon. So only two previous Oscar winners in Marion Cotillard and Reese Witherspoon. But
and it's interesting that Marion Cotillard is being nominated once again for an Oscar, and both times for a foreign film.
Yeah, and that's hard to break into that category.
Very hard. She worked. The directors of this film are called the Dardenne brothers, and they have a policy. They don't work with big stars. They don't work with people that everybody knows. One time she was filming Rust and Bone inside the elevator, and they were in the same elevator as she was, and she was like, please give me a chance. Please give me a chance. And they gave her a chance, and this is the result.
Well, they're going to have to stop casting her then, because she's becoming a big star in her own right.
Yes, she is. She's a wealth of knowledge, by the way.
Well, she was a first-time nominee when she won the first time, and here she's back already, just a couple years later.
So soon. But who do you think's going to win? It has to be Julianne Moore, don't you think?
That's Julianne Moore. That movie, though, it's hard to separate your emotional response to a movie and your choice of their performance. I don't know if I'm definitely more of a fan than a critic, but I cried throughout that movie watching her digress, and the nuances she chose to use as things faded for her. It was just fascinating.
The director, this was directed by a couple. There were two guys. One of them was diagnosed with ALS in 2011. Yeah. And so with ALS, you lose control of your muscles. With Alzheimer's, you lose control of your mind. She said that when she heard about that case, that was the moment she was like, I have to do this.
And she said that she watched the show with her husband. He doesn't cry, but I believe they watched it at the Toronto Film Festival, and she heard him crying right next to her. She's like, that's when I knew that this was a really special role. My husband doesn't cry, and he was in tears watching her performance. But again, I mean, she in the movie, she was in her early 50s and diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and something that affects millions and millions of Americans. And it's just so hard to see your loved one really kind of slip away right before your eyes.
Yeah.
But a truly remarkable performance.
Rosamund Pike.
She was
creepy in that.
She was cray-cray.
Because I love the book, but when I saw the way she clipped sentences and the things she did in that movie, I walked out of there being like, she was a little too good. I don't know if maybe in real life, I'm sure she's a lovely person, but I'm like, are you amazing, Amy? Maybe.
Amy, you know what? I hadn't read the book. I don't really have time to read anything but Dr. Seuss.
Paula, you wouldn't, but you would not be able to put that book down.
I need to create more hours in the day. But I really went into that movie. A friend of mine was like, let's go see Gone Girl. I really had no idea what it was about.
It's one of those films.
It was great. And they're announcing right now.
Okay, here we go.
You can hear everyone chanting more behind us. Julianne Moore. She finally got her Oscar.
Because this is the fifth time, right?
Fifth time. Yes. This is her fifth nomination. She's been passed over 4 other times. Congratulations to Julianne Moore with a well-deserved Oscar. And her husband is escorting her, it looks like, on the steps. She's so beautiful.
She's just the sweetest woman, too. She's so loved by everyone in Hollywood. It's incredible.
When I feel like when you're touching on such a sensitive and personal topic for people with like Alzheimer's,
absolutely, to
represent a group of people to kind of create more buzz about something that needs money, funding, research. She just, I mean, I think anyone that's ever been close to someone that's had a chronic illness can really.
Wow.
She just said winning an Oscar could lead to living 5 years longer, and if that's true. Congratulations to her. She's almost gasping for air.
I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for the opportunity to stand up here and thank people that I love. My manager, Evelyn, my family, like my grandparents, my brother Peter, my sister Valerie.
husband right there, getting choked up, just taking a photo.
I love when you see the supporting faces, the tears, the emotion. She's the star.
I'm so happy. I'm thrilled, actually, that you were able to hopefully shine a light on Alzheimer's disease. So many people with this disease feel isolated.
Oh, such a composed, articulate Oscar speech from Julianne Moore. Loving gazes from all the other nominees, Rosamund Pike and Reese Witherspoon. And I love what she said, that hopefully this can shine a light on such a horrible disease and a debilitating disease that it affects so many around the globe.
She's one of those actresses that are just so generous, kind of like Meryl Streep. She's not worried only about shining. She wants her fellow actress or her fellow actor to shine as well.
Reflect.
I love people that start their speech by saying, look at the category I was in, because really at this level, everyone could say that, and you're among winners.
Yes.
So I love it when they start like that. I also love it when they think we talked about this, their husbands and their wives.
How can you forget to thank your significant other?
When she said finally and hadn't gotten to her husband, I was like, don't let me down, Jay Moore, come on.
I was thinking that too, and then there were two finalists.
There were two finalists. I was like, part two? Okay, we're in.
Oh, and okay, so we mentioned that Neil Patrick Harris is a magician. It's really one of his passions, and inside this briefcase are his predictions. He presented this briefcase early in the evening, and so he is now approaching the briefcase, unlocking the case, which has been under lock and key throughout the show.
Let's see what he got right.
And he will now reveal his predictions. Very, very interesting. See the golden envelope?
Oh my gosh. Paula, thank you for the play-by-play.
Would you like any more color commentating?
And he's got the envelope in his hand.
And he has the envelope, and he is now...
The face what?
Face touching. Not necessarily the predictions that we were expecting, you guys. That is pretty funny. Very, very clever.
You got some of those right.
That was we were expecting actual predictions from the actual categories,
yes.
But Neil Patrick Harris put it in his own little comedic spin.
Ooh. Wow.
Sarah, you just said ooh. Oh.
That's the surprise guest. Yeah.
Oh, Sean Penn. He looks very handsome.
He always looks handsome.
Oh, do you have a little crush?
I feel a crush here.
Because his acting is redunculous.
It is. So talented.
I wish he'd smile a little.
We want to check in right now. You just heard that moving acceptance speech from Julianne Moore, but she just stepped to the thank you cam. Take a listen.
Now what do I do?
You have anybody
Thank you.
everything.
I didn't forget anybody, but could I give a special shout out actually to my grandparents? I did mention them in my speech, but they are in Georgetown, South Carolina at Morningside, and they were having an Oscar party tonight, and probably Iman Granddad already went to bed, but I love you. Okay.
She's giddy with excitement.
Absolutely.
That's gonna last for a while,
She filled that questionnaire as well, and they asked, who inspires you? And she said, Marion Cotillard. So that's how generous she is.
Seriously?
Yes.
Quit showing off with your pronouncers, okay?
It always sounds better when
Before we go to a quick commercial break, the Academy has been tweeting and Instagramming all night backstage after her win with Matthew McConaughey. That is Julianne Moore winning the Oscar for the very first time. Again, nominated 5 times. Here's another one for Best Picture. What a rush! Eddie Redmayne after his win for Best Actor, and
he's gonna say it.
Best Picture is being announced right now by Sean Penn. Oh, Birdman just won. Birdman just winning for Best Picture.
Wow.
Wow.
A bit of a stunner, would you say? I think it was between Boyhood and Birdman.
The competition was between those two.
So tough. They're allowed 10 nominations.
And this
They
year only 8.
Yes. Only 8.
But this has been a really, really impressive year for the films. You know, I feel like the Academy this year really paid attention to innovative filmmakers and innovative filmmaking. You know, Whiplash was such a small budget.
I love Whiplash.
Such a great film.
That was your favorite.
That was my all-time favorite.
Yeah, Boyhood.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, the cast and crew from Birdman. We're right back in the Oscars backstage, presented by Samsung Galaxy.
All right.
Hey, everybody. We're still getting situated here.
That's
You
right.
can see Bradley Cooper listening to the acceptance speech from Alejandro Inarritu. How did I do? Alejandro Inarritu, director of Birdman. And what a tough category. I mean, it really could have gone. I felt like every one of these 8 nominations was unique and it could have won it in its own right.
Absolutely. And I am surprised that Boyhood didn't take home one of the 2 biggest prizes, you know, directing or Best Picture. But still, I mean, we'll be talking about Boyhood and Birdman 10 years from now.
And I was kind of pulling, I know that America's favorite, if it's any indication from the box office, American Sniper had grossed more than all of the other films in this category combined. That just goes to show you.
And the war movie that made the most money, has grossed the most money up until now, beating Saving Private Ryan. I mean, the movie really has broken so many records at this point.
Yes, it has. So taking a look at its social media, I am J Hud, Jennifer Hudson. She says she is just as sweet as she is gifted. None other than Meryl Streep. Us clicking our Oscar heels. Wow, what a night on Instagram from Jennifer Hudson. Those are some pretty clever photos. And you can hear members of the press laughing behind us during the acceptance speech for Birdman. This feels a lot longer than 45 seconds, but I think they're giving them their just due because it's the last award of the evening.
Yes, and they deserve it.
Yes, they do.
He put so much sweat and work and dedication into this movie, and actually was brave enough to step out of his comfort zone and step out of the drama genre, you know, and try comedy and give a chance back to Michael Keaton, a revival of such an important career in Hollywood. So absolutely.
We were talking with Alejandro Inarritu on the red carpet, and we were mentioning that really the underlying theme of Birdman is relevance, and everybody in this film is trying to stay relevant. And he says, well, look around us. Everyone here is trying to stay relevant. And it was just such a great illustration of not just on film, but what's actually going on the red carpet.
And very self-aware in a jovial manner,
Yes.
you know, when he said we're all narcissistic in the best sense of the word, the best word.
Definitely. So what's been your biggest surprise, your biggest upset of the evening?
I wish Richard Linklater had gotten Best Director because I think Boyhood really was revolutionary, but still, I think it was pretty consistent to what I wanted.
Grand Budapest and Birdman were both nominated 9 times. Grand Budapest, I think, wound up with 5. I'm trying to count. 1, 2, 4 or 5. So big night for Grand Budapest and Birdman. You see some hugging and kissing right there. Benedict Cumberbatch, he was up for Best Actor in a Leading Role for The Imitation Game, getting a kiss from his new bride.
Yes.
You can see everyone making their way out of the Dolby Theater. A lot of them heading to the Governor's Ball, particularly those that won Sir Oscar.
Well, now they're going to have a blast. Can you imagine? Party like it's 1999, as Prince said.
I just can't believe 1999 was 16 years ago.
I know.
Y2K? Now you're making me feel really old. There's Oprah leaving. Is that Sienna Miller behind her? Sienna Miller is gorgeous.
Yes. Oprah carrying her Lego Oscar.
Scarlett Johansson there in green, who looked stunning as well.
Yes.
Felicity Jones.
I love the moment David Oyelowo from Selma getting super emotional when John Legend and Common were performing.
Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
Directed American Sniper, which again, taking a photo right there. Looks like he and Bradley Cooper are taking a selfie. We'll be looking for that one. You know what? I'm kind of bummed. I really wanted to see American Sniper win.
You are?
At least Best Picture or Best Actor. I don't know. Call me a patriot. I don't know. I just really wanted to see it win, but it was such fierce competition, and it's not like for Birdman as well. Birdman winning for cinematography, Birdman winning for original screenplay, Alejandro Inarritu winning for Best Director, winning for Best Picture, 9 nominations in all. They're fired up. I love that some of the guys that worked on this film, the screenwriters, the editors, are like, Alejandro is crazy, but they love working with him.
Well, I remember asking them, did you know this was going to be a hit? They're like, absolutely not. We only knew that this was going to work out after we saw the first scenes that were shot. We couldn't tell just by the pages.
And they changed the ending during the filming of the movie.
And this probably feels even better for Alejandro because the main character is inspired by his thoughts and his opinions and feelings that he's gone through. So it's not autobiographical, but emotionally biographical, he says.
Holding up those Oscars.
It's great because it really is a movie about like overcoming insecurities and how we see ourselves and self-esteem.
The search to stay relevant.
Yes.
And really, I mean, it was so unusual, and just I think the way that it was shot definitely is so original, unique. There was really nothing like it. It almost felt like one continuous take, and that's really one of the reasons that it got the Academy's attention.
Yeah, and whether someone loves the movie or doesn't necessarily love the movie, you have to respect how fearless this director was.
Fearless.
To write the script, to step out of the box, to be able to get this done, and look at the success. I mean, Best Director, Best Picture.
I cannot wait to hear what they say in the press conference, and for that we're going to come back in just 30 seconds, take a really quick break here on the Oscars Backstage Show presented by Samsung Galaxy. We're right back, and we're going to hear from the cast and crew of Birdman that won Best Picture. We're right back, everyone. What are we doing? And you can see fellow Oscar winners. Look at that. You talk about Patricia Arquette, J.K. Simmons, Julianne Moore, Eddie Redmayne. Wow.
That's the money shot right there. Talk about heavy hitters.
Julianne Moore is giddy with excitement. At the end of her press conference, they had to wrap it up. She didn't feel like she was done talking.
Oh, she's enjoying every second of tonight.
First-time winners, deserved winners right there.
It's a long time coming.
Simmons. And Jennifer Hudson, very popular on Instagram. She's Chi-Town stand-up, of course. She's a Chicago native. We're looking at the social media monitor over my shoulder right now. She says, Chi-Town stand-up. So proud and happy for Common and John Legend. Yes, yes, and yes. Such a powerful moment. So proud to witness. Congratulations again. Jennifer Hudson also tweeting this, Vanity Fair. She's very popular on Instagram tonight. I'm looking forward to the tweets from Chrissy Teigen a little bit later, so she charges her phone. funny lady. And
right behind us, you can see the cast and the director of Birdman with Sean Penn himself.
I have to keep it real here because we've been live for over 6 hours now. I had just got a tweet from one of my friends, and she said, "OMG, you have been talking forever," in caps.
Well, it's a special night. It's a special night, Paula.
And guess what we got? We got our own little Oscar.
Oscar chocolate.
Yes. I don't know if I want to eat Oscar. Oscar is dusted with gold. If you can see this, this is my little memento for the evening.
Well, I'm so hungry at this point that I might eat my Oscar and yours.
No, I'm not giving you my Oscar. I'm already giving you a sandwich because I lost our little side bet.
Yes.
What a great evening, though. It's our first Oscars.
I mean, for me, I've always dreamed of coming to the Oscars, of seeing this. I mean, I really feel like no matter how much you try to prepare for this, how much you think you know what you're going to face here, you really are never ready. Like, until you feel the energy.
This is a moment that we need to capture.
Yes.
On our little device, if I can figure it out. Okay?
Yes.
This will probably get retweeted 3 times by my mom and your mom.
Our little Samsung
Ready?
device. Yes.
And Andrew Springer, I've got to put my microphone down, which is probably welcome for most of you because you want me to stop talking anyway. Okay, and we're done almost. Now I have to figure out how to tweet them.
Oh, wow.
And this is amazing. I'm just so blown away by how quickly things... social media has changed everything.
It's a social media world we live in. Accept it.
20 million tweets last year during the Academy Awards. I would venture to say there's going to be a lot more than that this year.
I agree. It's just getting... This year has been so young and fresh, so I'm sure social media was blowing up. Best Picture winners for Birdman, #Oscars, the Academy.
The Academy's been busy tweeting and Instagramming all night. Quite a few. There's another one of Alejandro Inarritu being swept off for interviews after his win. #Oscars.
Can you imagine the morning after for Alejandro? I mean, that'll be... He'll have a sweet taste.
He's probably going to wake up in the afternoon, so I think the morning won't exist.
Yeah.
He will sleep through it, and deservedly so. And they are walking into the press conference room right now. Julianne Moore's coming back. Oh, okay. Yes. Here is a photo op, everybody. I've got to take a photo of this. You have Oscar winners: Eddie Redmayne, first-time Oscar. These are all first-time winners.
Believe it or not, they
Patricia Arquette, J.K. Simmons, and Julianne Moore. Is it rude if I put the mic down and take a photo? I've got to take a photo of this. This is one of those Kodak moments.
Yes.
It's a Samsung moment, I should say, on my Samsung phone. Because we are the Backstage Show sponsored by
Samsung Galaxy.
Here we go. What a great moment. What a great moment. I don't think there's any way you can argue against any of these nominees. I mean, they've all made such a strong case.
Yeah, whether
it was
you're
almost
surprised
a no-brainer
or
in
not,
every category.
yeah. Whether you're surprised or not with the result, I agree that you have to respect every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
And as we could expect, the photographers are going nuts.
They're going crazy.
Yeah, the clicks, the flash, I love it.
A couple thousand clicks per minute. I don't know if you can truly hear and appreciate that what the photographers have been yelling. Everyone's trying to get their attention, and sometimes they cross the line a bit with what they say, things that we don't really want to say.
But for the most part, they're just complimenting them and saying how beautiful they look and how great they are, how much they deserve being here.
They can be ruthless, but hey, they're doing their job. They're doing a great job capturing a moment in time.
And we're watching history in the making.
Yes, we are. It's been kind of a pinch me moment.
Yes. I think tomorrow I'm going to wake up and be like, did that just happen last night?
It did.
Yeah. It still happened.
6.5 hours.
Yeah. All right.
I think they're done now. They're wrapping it all up.
Yes.
What a phenomenal night it's been. We want to thank you for joining us. We're still holding out, hoping to hear from the cast and crew of Birdman, who won for Best Picture.
Yes.
But
see what the questions are for them. You guys probably sent a lot of questions to Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu.
Stop showing off, please. Portuguese accent. Yes. It's actually it's quite impressive, but I want to say it's been great working with you.
It's been an honor working with you.
Yes, I've truly enjoyed it. Eddie Redmayne coming back for with Kate Blanchett for a double dose.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe he's actually come backstage
he didn't.
yet.
No.
So this is his
he
first time back
that
here.
Moment. Yeah. Oh, they look so good together too.
Great moment. He's got his hand wrapped tightly around Kate's waist, and she's got her hand on his.
Definitely one of the greats. I mean, Kate Blanchett and Blue Jasmine. What a phenomenal performance.
And honestly, if there are a couple of movies that you haven't seen, you've got to see Theory of Everything. Really, all of the Best Picture nominations.
Really strong year.
Very strong year, and just all unusual and worthy in their own right.
Yeah, and keep your mind open. Whether you're a fan of this director or not, go see all of them because you will not be disappointed. Whiplash, you probably didn't hear from Damien Chazelle before, but believe me, this is just the start, the beginning of his career.
Only 30 years old, the youngest in Best Director category. Phenomenal job. I can't imagine putting a movie together in at least shooting it in 17 days. Which is what he did. Back against the wall, low budget.
I mean, if he made this much, if he made magic with this little time and this small of a budget, can you imagine what he's going to be doing in 10 years?
Sometimes you do your best work when your back's against the wall. I know I was always
good point.
Cramming for those. My essays were always written the night before they were due, cramming right before the big exam. This has been such a great ride. Eddie just taking a moment to really stare at at Oscar.
And the Brits really, really showed up this year. I mean, him, Benedict Cumberbatch, Felicity
Jones, that's right.
A lot of British actors.
Phenomenal year, and what a night it's been. We're wrapping things up. Everybody is dispersing and going to their after parties. Are you going to any of the after parties?
I don't think so, unless you come with me.
To the after party?
Yeah.
Don't take that the wrong way, anybody. Okay, everybody. We just want to thank you so much for joining us and hanging with us. This has been such a blast, and what an honor to give you this behind-the-scenes access. I think you're done hearing from us for the evening, 6.5 hours.
I think we talked enough. Paula, thank you so much.
Pedro, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
A pleasure.
And we'll see you soon on ABC. I'll see you soon on Good Morning America. And maybe next year we'll see you for the 87th Annual Academy Awards.
Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Good night from the Dolby Theater here in LA, everyone. Have a good one.